and hear me. Just going to double check and check if it's showing on my browser. It doesn't look like it is at the moment. 1 second. Just me to have difficulties today. Live. Where is this live? I see nothing at the moment. So I might just wait a moment, see if anybody joins me. I can't find anyone and nobody can find me. It's like playing chase the tail. Oh, I think I found a screen. I'm so sorry, guys. I don't know what happened. For some reason, sometimes when I start a live, my screen freezes, and whatever I do, you can't actually see it. It's just a frozen screen. I really hope you guys find me now, because I know I posted the wrong link everywhere. Sorry, and I've had to restart the live. So we've got a couple of people joining us today. So welcome Sheldon Briscoe from Acrylic Art. Welcome Oak by Bettina, lovely Betty. Hi, sweetheart. Great to see you. Another texture queen. She's brilliant, so check her channel out. Also, we've got Fiona, beautiful Fiona from all the way from Australia. Hi, Fiona. Great to see you. And we've got Byron. Thank you for coming, Byron. It's great to see you as usual. Thank you for the lovely compliment. And oh, we've got Fiona Art. Hi. It's great to see you, Fiona. I don't think I've seen you on one of my lives. I've been doing a couple of them, but not too many. I've recently started, so I'm just getting used to it, really. But it's great to see you, Fiona Art. I think most of you know who she is. She's amazing, very talented lady. And you really have to check her channel out if you haven't already. Do hop over and subscribe if you haven't already. The same with all the other guys with Sheldon and Betty as well, Oak by Bettina. We've also got Laurie, the lovely Laurie Shaw. Thank you for joining me, Laurie. You're always here. I love you to bits. You've just said for some reason YouTube took me to Canella. When I came back, I couldn't find chat, but it's my fault actually. I set the live up, and then when I started it, my phone froze. So sorry about that little misunderstanding just then, and I had to quit the live and restart a new one. So that link I posted everywhere is probably a dud now, but never mind. You guys are here, and I'm super excited that you're here. We've got a lovely cat from Cat's Fluid Art Creations. So I am gonna kind of crack on, so I'm not wasting too much time. Time is of the essence. It's very precious to us all, and I want to show you what we did in the last live. Now, in the last live, we started with a very simple canvas board. I think you can see that. I might push you up a little bit more. One moment. I hope the phone doesn't fall off. Come on, you can go up, can't you? Okay, so I'm just trying to fit you in. Hopefully you can see that. If you can't, it's because the screen's frozen again. Can you see it? Maybe I need to tilt it up a bit. Oh, okay. There we go. So what we've got here is a canvas board. It's about 30 by 30 centimeter canvas board. We started this piece as a new project, a texture paste project, using mixed media as well, which is the next step. So yesterday night, we did this. So we drew out a lovely floral pattern using pencil. I did that off screen, and then I used some texture paste in the form of homemade DIY texture paste. I showed you in a previous video how I create this stuff using a couple of different products, and I piped it through a disposable piping bag onto my canvas, onto the pattern that I had on my canvas. It came out really smoothly, actually. I was quite surprised. Very, very smoothly. Larger nozzle means that it comes out, it flows out much easier. So since then, I've been waiting for it to dry. I don't think it's 100% dry. So when I put my nail into it, you can see it does do a slight indent. It started to dry out. It is taking its time. It's been very miserable and grey and cold in the UK, as per usual in our summers. And it's taken a little bit longer to dry. It is dry to the touch, so I can touch it. But what you'll notice is that painting over it right now is not a good idea. The best thing to do with this is really actually wait for it to be fully dry before we paint over the texture part of it. off camera then, after it was done, this was actually early this morning, I very quickly added a few of these globules, and the way I did that was exactly the same way. I used my piping bag. I just squeezed out little globules onto there to make it look like the floral stamen. And once that was down, I just got a very small wet paintbrush. You can use the dotting tool, just swirl it around to make sure it's kind of round and not pointy. And that's what I kind of did this morning. It was very easy, a couple of globules in the middle. Everything else was pretty much done before. Now, the other thing you'll notice is there is texture here, which we palette knifed on yesterday. And on top of that, I have added a few little lines. And to you, they might look iridescent or kind of pearlescent, and they do shine. Unfortunately, when we paint this, we lose that beauty to it in a way, but I did know that, and the reason I put those lines in is to give it that added definition, that kind of 3D look, and give it that added beauty. And the way I did that is just using a very simple product like this, and there's lots of different versions of this. This is actually, you can use fabric paint as well, so this is actually 3D pearl effects from Dovecraft. You can find other things in different countries. The other one I tend to use, but I finished, there's none left in here, is this Viva Decor Pearl End pens, and they like 3D texture that comes out, 3D. I'll show you now how it comes out. I'll actually do a little bit just to show you. So yeah, we missed this patch here. So we're just going to add a few little veins. I don't know if they're veins, they're just kind of lines. I've got to shake it a bit to make sure it's coming out the nozzle and it's not clogged up. I've got a feeling this is clogged up a little bit. Typical. Always on a live we had these issues. But I'm just going to get a quick needle and pop it through there to make sure it's cleared up. Maybe the lid wasn't on properly, so I'm just going to clear that out very quickly and then try again. Take two. So oops. So it really, if I bring it up to the light, I don't know if it's too. So it's really easy to add these lines. So I made sure they're kind of a bit chaotic. They're not, you know, perfect or anything. So a little bit chaotic. They don't have to be perfect at all. And you can do them in any manner you want. You know, you can add them to the sides. So that's what I did, and they dry super fast, okay? So these little lines dry super fast, and just gives it that additional kind of textured look, that really beautiful textured look. The other thing I did was add these little leaves, because I wanted there to be two different colours. So the flower petal colours, and then the stamen colours, which I'm thinking maybe gold or something. And then we've got these leaves. So if you have a look at that, that's also simply paletted on with a palette knife. So it's really just a case of dipping this palette knife into Texture Paste, paletting it on, waiting for that to dry, and adding a couple of definition lines using this 3D pearl effect Dovecraft fabric paint. So that's where we're at today so far, and it's looking great. So what are we doing today? I can imagine you asking, what are we doing today? Well, because we're kind of limited to not being able to paint the center yet, and not being able to acrylic paint the texture flower part because it's still drying, what I'm going to be doing is painting the background with you. We are also ideally going to add some gold leaf to the background, okay, and scrub that off and make it look really beautiful. So yeah, I'll just check in with the chat and see what's going on. Thank you, Fiona, for saying that's beautiful. Thanks, Betty. Let's see what else is happening. Hi, Joyce. Great to see you, lovely. Thank you for joining us. And hi, Alison from Resin Creations with Alison. Hi, Stefan from Lassie Farm. And sorry if I've missed anyone. I'm trying to keep up with the chat here. Okay, great. So let's get on with it. What colours are we going to use? We've got an empty palette here. I probably needed to clean that out, but it's fine. It's dried on. And we're going to get some paints out. So I don't know if you had any preferences. I think I've noticed a trend in some of my paintings. A lot of my paintings are very vibrant. They're very kind of, you know, full-on colours, really in-your-face colours. Like, for example, that's a background I did for another texture sculpture flower piece. You can see from a lot of my art that it's sometimes a bit too vibrant. So we're going to go for muted earthy tones today, I think, for the background on this. And I'm yet to decide what to do with for the flower bit, but we can decide that at a later date when it's fully dried. And we've got Anita here as well. Hi to I'm a Dutch Kiwi. Hi Anita. So I'm going to show you what I picked up at the local store today, at the local craft store. Well, it wasn't today, it was actually yesterday. So I've got some paints here. I'm going to show you what they are. We've got that one. I'll pop them all down and you can see them then. Quite a lot of paints, and I did pick up colours that I haven't really got. Maybe I've got one tube of burnt umber and one tube of raw sienna, but the other colours, apart from the titanium white of course, I don't think I really have any of. I have some yellow ochre, but most of these colours were new to me in the sense I'd not purchased them ever before. I'd usually just mixed up my paints and tried to create similar blends of colours before, but I really like the fact that I found these colours. And you guys probably know most of these colours already if you've been avidly painting for a long time. But we've got a couple of brands. We've got Pebeo, and we've got Liquitex, and then we've got De La Rowney. Okay, so we've got the System 3 acrylics, and this one I've got is Zinc Mixing White. It's kind of a very strange colour. I swear it looks like it's separated, but maybe it hasn't, I don't know. But yeah, it's kind of a pale off-white, sort of earthy off-white. And then we've got the yellow ochre, and you can see that's actually opaque, and this one is semi-opaque, so you can see the little lines there, the square box there. We've also got raw sienna and then raw umber. That's a nice colour. Gold, peach pink. That really would have helped when I was mixing up skin tones a couple of times as a base to start off with. And the burnt umber, raw sienna, and then we've got buff titanium, and finally obviously titanium white. Now there's a lot of colours. We're probably not going to need half of these colours. I'll probably pop this one away and find anything that's too similar and get rid of it. But we're going to put some of these colours into the background, I think. Why not, right? So I'm probably going to get the palette and just start sticking some of these colours into there and then deciding what we're going to do with the background. I think brush painting would be the best. The reason we can't pour over the canvas is because it's canvas board. It's not an actual canvas, and painting over a canvas is perfectly fine when it's fluid acrylic or paint pouring, acrylic pouring, or fluid art, but when you're painting over a canvas board, they do tend to warp. If any of you in the chat there know a good way of stopping it from warping, do let us, the rest of us, know. So we've got that colour, and then I'll just pop that there. And that's the raw sienna. We'll get a couple of colours. So I just want the background to look really nice and earthy and natural. Maybe some gold. Why not? Some gold here. I'm going to use a couple of brushes then just to get that on, and it shouldn't take long because there's not much background to cover. We've got the peach pink here. I'm going to pop that in. Probably need a bit more of that in the end. And then some burnt umber. Let's pop that in the darker one. And then we've got raw sienna. And this lovely colour, buff titanium. Not seen that before. We'll pop that here. I like that colour. I think what we want is some of the paler colours, more of the paler colours, the white, buff titanium, and the peach colour, as the kind of the colours that are the most seen in the background. I'm going to pop these away very quickly. Probably need the white a bit more, I think, at some point. And we're going to get some water and really mix these up. So what I want to do is just literally just apply it to this canvas board using a brush or a couple of brushes. So we've got this back. And we've got our water, which we're going to need. And we're going to start applying. And I have to be careful at this stage because of the fact that it's not fully dry. So I don't want water too close to this part because I don't want it separating. So I'm going to bring it right up close, and later I'm going to go over it with another colour just behind the flower to darken it up a little bit. So I'm going to start mixing some of these colours in the middle. That brush is rock solid. Okay, that's not going to work. Find a softer brush. And in fact, I might use a thicker brush. And just take some of this colour and just mix it up. So I just want to make sure you can see what I'm doing here. Okay, we've got that colour. I'm going to add a little bit of a similar colour to it on this side. Maybe a bit of white on this side. And we're just going to apply it at the moment. So we're just going to begin by just applying it, okay? I'm going to bring you down closer, I think, so you can see better. That was seamless enough. And I'm just going to apply it with my brush in one direction. Yeah, that is a pretty peach pink, I Betty. And although it looks like I'm just applying the one colour to begin with, I can make this quite patchy by adding different colours using different brushes. So let's try this, try that, and try blending it a bit. So let's get some of this colour here, thin it down a little bit with the water. Oops, I got some on the flower, but it doesn't matter. And we're just going to, and we don't want it to look perfect because the plan is to add a few bits and bobs to the background later anyway, like gold leaf, some more texture paste, similar colours, and also possibly, wipe that off, yeah, so texture paste, gold leaf, and then see what happens. Need a bit more water. I'm running out of water here, so let's just mix more of this up, and as I go along I'm just going to introduce different colours. Okay, so a bit more water here, need more paint, and it doesn't matter how you apply it really. I mean, it can be short brush strokes so you can get that feel and look of texture in the background, even though there isn't any at the present moment. And I'm just going to take it right up. These pearlescent, these fabric paint are completely dry. You can paint over those, but it's just a texture paste that isn't fully dry, so I have to be super careful around that. So I can take it right up to it, as you can see I'm doing, but I wouldn't paint over it right now. Allow it to dry out fully. And the leaves will probably be a kind of a deep forest green, I think, in the end. So I'm just adding the background. Let me know what you think so far. I'll just show it up to you. We are going to go with the darker colours in a minute and darken it up a little bit more as well. So let's add some of that, add some of that, add some of that. So the great thing about layering like this is you can just change your mind, go lighter, go darker, really just like figure out what you want. Put some white in there now. So do you see what I mean? You can just do whatever you want. You can add white, you can add the darker colours, whatever you want. There, I quite like that burnt umber actually. And here I am just messing about, seeing what it looks like. And because it's wet, you can still blend it. You don't have to worry, you can just paint over it anyway, so it doesn't matter. Oh, by the way, on Sunday we've got the Fluid Art Express coming up again as usual every Sunday, so I usually kick that off, and Christy and Darren from Venom Fluid Art run it. So we've got a guest artist called Angelia Bliss who is actually coming on with us, so I hope you can make it and show some support as well. It'd be great to have you there if you can come along to the live chat. If not, you can watch it afterwards anyway. So my brush bristles are falling off, sorry guys, I'm just taking them off one by one. Gosh, I quite like that. That's really cool. I think the gold leaf, that's going to look stunning. Let's just go right up to the flowers this side. Sorry, my arms are right in the way, isn't it? So I am taking it right past the leaves because I want to make sure I don't miss any spots next to the leaf. I really like how that brown looks actually. I might add a bit more of that in a minute. Let's get some more water on my brush. Add some more colour down here. And a bit more of that brown. And as I get closer to the stalk of the flower and around the leaves, I am going to go a little bit darker and then lighten it up because it just brings up that shadow, that kind of depth to the flower. And we'll do the same on the other side. A bit more paint. Now, yep, it's a little bit tricky going around these petals here. I'll get some white, get some of that cream. And I'm going to try and squiggle my brush right into the crevices there. A little bit tricky, but doable. There we go. We're getting there. Let's go up and around. I do wish I had two pairs of eyes because I could keep an eye on what's going on in the chat, but I'll have to take a little break in a second and have a look. Especially if there's any questions. I hope somebody is moderating ad hoc. There we go. The great thing is I can just add these lovely little brush strokes of lighter and darker colours wherever I don't like an area, so it's really cool. So let's see, let's add some more paint and finish this side now. So we've gone lighter again from a very raw sienna colour, and we're going to go a bit darker again, add some of that, add some of that, add some of that. There we go. I'm not too bothered about covering up those leaves, like I said, or the lines around them, because I can go over them with a finger later and put a darker green on them or something. The bits that are sticking out, I mean the bits that are prominent and 3D-ish. So I'm just going to make sure that's blended in around here. One thing I didn't mention actually, and I really should mention, is that when I applied this texture paste, it was obviously on video and live in front of you all. I waited, and I found out something really interesting about texture paste, but from trial and error. But when I waited, I applied the texture paste with a piping bag, and I waited about half an hour-ish, and then I kind of went in with a palette knife and a paintbrush, and I pushed the edges in, so you can see some of these bits are going in here. I'll just show you what I mean. So if you have a quick look, you can see these little kind of like a floral edges, the curvy edges, and also these bits which have been pushed in. What I've realized is it's actually quite malleable, so when it's semi-dry you can move it around, you can push it in, you can shape it, which is really cool because it doesn't lose its form and you can just use a palette knife to really kind of, what I did is I put a cut in there and I pushed that edge in to give it some form, and I did the same thing here. I pushed it in, and I either used a palette knife or I used a very small paintbrush to push these edges in and make it much more floral like. And yeah, I didn't even know you could do that. I thought it would just fall apart, but you really can, which is a great little nugget of information if you're planning on doing something like this, or planning on painting using texture. Like if I was to do this with glue gun, I couldn't possibly do that. See, once the glue is down, it dries super fast, and because it dries super fast, the hot glue, you can't go in and do what I just did to this texture paste last night. You literally get stuck with it. So you can either cut it off, cut bits off and change it, or you can and kind of lay it, or you can just keep it as it is. But that's the great thing I've learned about texture paste, is that actually it's malleable, so you can shape it after it's down on your canvas and it doesn't fall apart. As long as you do it within the right time frame and it's not too hard and it's not too set, you're fine. So I'm just going to go around this leaf. There we go. And just push this down here a bit and blend it a little bit. Yeah, so that's looking good. The first coat is down, and again, like I said, I'm going to go back in a minute and make sure there's some interesting parts to this. Where are we now? I like that colour. I think it looks great. Maybe a bit more cream in areas. Let's try and push that right into the crevice there to make sure I haven't missed anything. I'm trying not to get too much paint on this because I know it needs time to dry out. Let's have a look, see what you're seeing. Now we need to get into the crevices here. And this flat brush is actually really good. I could probably use a smaller brush really though. But you can just wiggle it around until you know it's definitely in the areas you want it to go. Okay, I'm liking this. There's a bit of an area here just between a leaf and a stalk. It's a bit tricky. Need more paint. Let's try and push that in. And again, remember, once it's dry, you can go in with marker pens as well. So it's not like you're stuck with using just a paintbrush if you're not comfortable with using a paintbrush. I'm using a huge paintbrush for this delicate painting. I'm a little bit mad, but yeah, it's okay. All the best people are mad, apparently. So that's nice. I like it. Now what I'm going to do is take a step back and just look at it now. And I'm going to see, hi Louise McKay Art, hi honey, hi Bill Robertson Art, great to see you here. Hi Shay Joe, welcome, lovely to see you. Hi Shelley, Shelley Anderson Art as well. I mentioned quite a lot of channels here. They're friends, so if you don't know each other, go and check each other out. Check out the videos you've got and give them a follow. So we are simply doing a lovely background here using a paintbrush, and we're looking at it now to see what we think of it. I really like it. I think there's little bits here which I kind of need to change, like this bit here is a little bit messy and it's kind of going the wrong way. So all I'm going to do is take my brush, pick up a colour and just add something to it. So if any bits look a bit bland, I can get a darker colour, I can get a lighter colour, totally up to me, and I can just go over it a little bit and give it some more interest and depth. So I do want to add a little bit of gold. I know we're going to have gold leaf. Now we did pour some gold into this. That's the gold. I can't remember which brand it was. I think it was Can you guys remember? My brain is a sieve half the time. It's Liquitex Basics. Oh, it's called gold. Yeah, so it's a Liquitex Basic Gold, and that's in there. It's a bright gold. That's a really bright gold. I don't know if you can see that. Gorgeous bright gold. Maybe copper would be better. I don't know. What do you guys think? Copper or gold? Because I have got copper. I'm going to add a little bit of this crazy dark. It's got a greenish tint to it. I swear all of the bristles on this brush are coming out. That's crazy. Not a good brush, is it, really? This one. One of my older ones that I've not used. So we're just going to add a bit of this lovely black, dark. It's not black. I can't remember what it was either. It's a darker brown. I'm just going to add that. It's watered down a little bit, so it goes on okay. So you can see me. I'll bring this up to you. So I'm just looking for areas where it could do with something, you know. And this is super fun. And if any of you try it out, let me know. I'd love to see what you create. And like I said, this is a type of art you can't really make mistakes with. You can't ruin it. You can't look at it and go, oh no, I did that wrong, because there's no wrong about it, you know. You're just blending a couple of colours willy-nilly. There's no real, fashion that you have to do it in, or style, style. You just pick up the colours in your palette that you like and chuck them down. So you just put them wherever you want to, I'm gonna take it right up to the flower there, because I did say I wanted some darker colours outside of the flower, because that usually makes the flower pop when there's some darker colours around it. But you don't have to do that. It's just personal choice, so you might not want to do it, so it's fine as well. I'm just making sure that the fact that I popped them down, I was brushing towards the flower rather than away from it. Away from it is usually a better idea. Hey, I'm learning too. It's not just you. So I'm learning from doing, which is the best way to learn for me, for someone like me, I think. If I just read a textbook or watch a bunch of videos, I wouldn't learn that much. It wouldn't go in. I need to do it to see, and if I screw it up, that's how I learn. So I'm not bothered if I screw it up. So bit of this light peach maybe. Where can we put the light peach? Why not? I like the light peach. A bit more. I need to do this edge really. The edges are a bit funny. I love this. I really love this. I don't know about you guys. I'm going to see what you say in a minute. I don't know, something about it. Look how quickly we made a lovely background, very quick and easy. I love it. And I am going to go around the flower eventually, guys, to give it more depth by using a very dark ink pen, to make it pop. But so far, I'm loving it. I think it's beautiful. Let me have a look what you guys are saying. Taz, stay focused. I am staying focused. At this minute, it doesn't matter, because we are going to paint the flower as well. So we're going to start with the flower once it's actually dry, this texture paste. We're going to paint it white to begin with, give it a base, and really set that texture paste in, seal it completely. This texture paste is porous, so the acrylic will help seal it to an extent. And then we're going to decide what colours we want this flower. So I'm thinking a 2 or 3 tone kind of a white with another colour. So either peach or pinkish, light pinkish, maybe like rose. What do you guys think? What colour would you like to see in the flower? Fade in some green. That's a good idea. Should we do that? I'll probably end up ruining it now, but what you're thinking is probably different too. We've got this earth green. I like that. I just found it. What do you think? Yay or nay, guys? Shelley, you'd be questioning yourself all the time. I do. When I'm on my own and I'm doing this, I am questioning myself all the time. And I'm kind of just, figuring it out as I go along. Pale blue, Sheldon. Do you mean in the back? Oh, pale blue flower? Oh, okay, that's not a bad idea. I didn't even think of blue. And Betty's saying no. Laurie wants pink. I will always say pink. I know I'm partial to the very light faded pink, like a water lily. But I'm not even sure what kind of flower I've drawn. I don't even know what this. I mean, I don't think of this as a specific flower. If you could tell me what this is, then that'd be great. I just simply drew it. So, and then the leaves as well. Just trying to figure out mute that green. Okay. Will do. Let's do that before it dries fully. So I'm going to go in now. I actually really like the background. I really hope I don't ruin it now, but I'm going to go with what the masses are saying, my followers are saying. So let's just do it. This is the whole point of doing it live, is that you guys choose. And I try to execute to the best of my ability. Oh, this paint pot is completely saturated with paint now. Oops. Need another. Let's get all that paint off this brush. There's so much of it on there. How did I get so much paint on there? Right. Let's just dry this off a sec. Otherwise it'll change the colour of my green too much. Right. And then get some water. Thin it down. Hi, Simply Nanette, darling. Reminds you of a poppy, does it, Cat? Yeah. Imagine it bright, vibrant red. I didn't even think of that. So I guess with a poppy, it'd have to have black. The bits inside would have to be black, right? You can tell I don't know my flowers. I just hope this doesn't ruin it. Okay, who's in with the green? Yay, should we do it? I'm nervous. Oh, okay, we can do it, right? We'll just put a little bit by here. And maybe we get another brush and just like kind of fade it out. No, I'm just taking it off. I don't think I should fade it out. Okay, that just took it all off. Yep, painting by committee, Louise. It's the best way to paint these days. Because, like, my brain will tell me something completely different to what somebody else's brain will tell them. And sometimes, like, doing this kind of collaborative painting is fun because you don't know what you're going to get. But there's also the thing of too many cooks spoil the broth, and we do have to be careful, don't we? We don't ruin it. I don't think that's bad, actually. I think that's really going to help it with the leaves. When I actually paint these leaves green, I think it would probably help it, to be honest. Really tie the whole thing together. I think that was a good call, Sheldon. Thank you. You've got a really good eye for painting. I'm still learning, really, in a sense. So, yes, I like it. I like it. I think what we can do is probably too much. Add a bit down there. Why not? And a bit down there. Because it's going to look a bit weird otherwise when there's massive green leaves sticking out and the background is a little bit too white or too cream. Sorry, I'm mumbling. I do mumble a lot. I usually think I'm talking to myself, but I forget that I'm on a live. My art teacher, when I was in school, used to talk to himself, and I remember one day questioning. I was about 12, and I questioned it, and he said, "Oh no, do you know that all the best people talk to themselves, and the people who don't are the ones who are mad?" He was actually mad, I think, though, as in really eccentric. And my other art teacher, a lady, Mrs. Gore, she used to keep turning up drunk at every lesson, fully drunk, totally wasted. I thought it was funny, but yeah, she never really instructed us with anything. We just got on with it. Okay, so that's what it's looking like now. I hope you don't think it's ruined. I'm going to wait for that to dry. I know it looks a bit vibrant, the green, but I think when it does dry, it will just fade a little bit. Well, I'm hoping that, fingers crossed. But yeah, I think that's really cool. I think the background is unusual. I'll bring it up and show you a bit closer. So it's unusual, it's different. And remember, we're actually going to smear texture paste in the background to go with some of the white that's going to be left on this flower. We're going to smear some texture paste. I do it now because I've got some, but I have to wait for that to dry, unfortunately. This is a problem with mixed media pieces. It takes a couple of stages. And I have got gold leaf, and I really want to put gold leaf on these lovely little stamen ends, you know, these little round blobs. And I think that would really make it stand out. Let me know what you think, if that's a good idea or not. So committee is good beforehand, but the creation should be solo. I don't know, actually. I might do a recording tomorrow of doing a painting with a friend, or showing her how to do it. Maybe, I don't know if it's going to be demo or both of us doing it together, but I imagine two of us doing it together might be quite interesting with both our different ideas. Okay, so we've got, okay, Alison, sweetheart, have a great day whatever you're doing. Thank you for attending, really appreciate it. And golden center, yes, Bill, definitely. Just a question. I do have silver leaf, and also guess what, we have rose gold, and I've never used it. Rose gold leaf, where is it? I'll try and find it. Oop. Oop. Right, I'm just grabbing a few things, sorry guys. So we've got the silver leaf, some of it left over here. It's just so delicate, this stuff. Silver leaf. No, I think it's because in the background are kind of warmer tones. Silver doesn't, I don't think silver goes very well with it. And then we've got this colour, which is the gold, if you can see that. And this one, which I've never used, which actually goes with the background, doesn't it? This is the rose gold, I think. Yeah, the rose gold. This is actually from Temu. I didn't know if it would be very good, but compared to the ones in the UK, we get ones like this, which is much bigger. And they work really good as well. You know, the silver leaf, I think this one, that one's gold. So yeah, so we can either have gold or rose gold. What is your preference? Gold or rose gold? Fiona, rose gold. Okay, fabulous. Yes, Shelley, rose gold. I think, not wrong one. I think that's the best one for it. And now we just need to decide on the colour of the flower. And I'm tending to go towards pink, but I think somebody else said blue. Blue flower. Would blue go here well or not? I'm not sure. It's a cooler colour. The background's warmer tones. We'll have to have a little think about that. Yeah, cat rose gold will look beautiful, I think. And so far, so good. What I can now do is paint the leaves, actually. I didn't even think of that. Oops. Well, actually, I can't, because that texture paste isn't 100% dry, and I don't want to risk it cracking if I cover it with paint yet. So I'm going to have to wait it out, I'm afraid, for the texture paste, because I forgot I smeared texture paste over the leaves as well, didn't I? Whoops. So yeah, I mean, that's what it looks like. I also want to put some of this. I might put the rose gold over these, and then I might put rose gold into the background, just choppy, kind of brush it off and make it really kind of rustic, you know. So that might be a nice idea to tie the whole piece together. Again, shadows as well around the flower would make it look much better as well. Yes, Shelley, I think that's the best idea, and I've just worked that out by talking to you guys, that is the best colour. Blue petals. Laurie's saying blue petals and rose gold. Okay, Betty. Add some purple and magenta. Oh, I love magenta. Yeah, that would make it really pop. Another thing that some artists do is take a photo of this and then just digitally look at how it would look as a magenta or a blue flower. And then it gives you a better idea, doesn't it? But I'm too lazy to do all that. So I guess you could take a photo with your phone and just use an app to colour in the petals and see what it would look like before you go and do it. So yeah, so we've decided on rose gold. We're still trying to figure out what colour flower to do. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put in all the suggestions. We've had a blue, a magenta, and purple. And what other colour do the pink flower? So I'm going to put them all into a hat. I'm going to pick out one, and whichever one I pick out, we'll do that. Okay, that's fair. Then everyone's had a say, so hopefully it's one of you who gets picked. Hi Billy, lovely. We've got BCC Arts in the house. I'm okay, thank you. I've had a good day with the kids. They were home all day. They're off school, and they're in bed at last. So I'm just doing another stage on this. That's fine. Thanks for dropping by. It's great to see you here. So I think that's it for now. We can't do much else to it at this stage. The other thing that would be really cool is if I added rose gold to the center, wherever color petals from what I do with a lucky draw, and then actually use the rose gold to do a border around this as well. I think that would really bring it out as well. That'd be something to consider as well. So we've got Bill Robertson Art saying, I'm working on my first mixed media piece tonight. Yay! That's really cool. I hope you post some pictures, Bill. It'd be great to see them. Or share some on the group or something. It'd be lovely to see them. Okay, so we've got a few. Simply Nanette says sage green is good. Also, we're probably going to use a sage greenish color for the leaves, or maybe something similar to this green earth, or two greens that complement each other and blend them in so it looks a bit more 3D. So we are going to have some green in here, but not so much in the petals. Okay. Right, I think I'm done. I think I've got a good idea from you guys. Thank you all for giving all your suggestions and ideas for this piece. And it's really coming together, I think. I'm going to wait for it to dry. And hopefully by tomorrow, if I'm lucky, this will be dry enough for me to paint over. If so, Betty and I are going to do a collaboration. I'll probably do a live for mine. It'll be 5 p.m. EST. So either Betty will be up first or myself. So do join us if you want to see me complete this. Fingers crossed it dries. If not, what I'll be doing instead is some sculpture flowers. Where's my flower thing gone? I don't know where anything is. Right, so if I can't do that, I'll be finishing off this beautiful piece here, which I started, and it's not finished. So I'll be doing some buds and some vines and things, and also painting these lovely petals. Okay, so I'll be doing some more texture tomorrow, either this or that one. Do join us, Betty and myself, for Texture Thursdays if you can. Thank you all for coming. And again, any comments, leave them below for me. Any suggestions for future textured or mixed media pieces or fluid art pieces, leave them below for me. I love hearing your suggestions, and I do really look at them and read them, and I reply to every comment, as you'll notice on my channel. Every single comment I'll always reply to. So if you've got suggestions, then I will put them in my list of to-dos. So thanks again, and have a lovely night wherever you guys are doing. It was great to hang with you and chat with you, and I'll see you next time, hopefully tomorrow. Bye for now.